everybody, so I went ahead and used this palette, the Norvina Cosmetics Volume 6. So if you want to see this look and how I created, go ahead and continue to watch the video. Hey beauties, we're going to go ahead and test out the new Norvina Cosmetics Volume 6 palette. I'm going to go ahead and create a look with this beautiful palette. I was recently gifted by Buzz Asian to review for them. And these are the shades up close. I love that it adds these deeper shades for depth to your looks. And then you have your pinks, your oranges, your purples, your greens, your yellows. And then right here is the shimmer row and the pressed glitters. It has two pressed glitters, which are A4, which is this blue shade right here, and then it has A2. And if you look at my recent video, you will see A2 swatched, and it's a really lovely formula and texture and shade color shift as well. Okay, so we're back. I went ahead and draw my eyebrows on with the NYX Brow Glue and NYX Snatch and Lift Brow Pen. And then I went in and primed my eyelids with the Anastasia Lovely Hills Eye Primer. So we're going to go ahead and create a look. Okay, so I think the shade that's calling me the most right now is probably E4 right here and C2 for sure. Okay, so we're gonna just take this Wet n Wild blending brush and I'm gonna go in with C2 as a transition shade right here. And I'm gonna take C2. Doesn't have that much kickback with that color. I'm gonna apply that to my crease, above my crease. I'm sorry. Zoom y'all in so y'all could see how this color is performing up close. And I'm just packing that on above my crease. I went ahead and blended all that periwinkle blue shade out. It's a beautiful color, especially for Easter coming up. So I'm kind of intrigued and I want to go in with this shade right here, B1, which is this really beautiful light sky blue. So I'm going to take it above this periwinkle blue shade. Just blend it all out with this small blending brush from Bliss Lucid Beauty. It is the B103. I'm just adding that all over that periwinkle blue shade that we added right below it. So as y'all could see, that shade blended in so beautifully. You could see where I blended it, like it just looks perfect. And as you could see here, it does not have that much kickback, which is a good thing. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with that deep blue shade right there, E4, and we're gonna take that on the outer part of my eye, outer corner. And we're just gonna apply it right there. Okay, so I went ahead and applied that blue, and it's a really gorgeous like navy blue, and it blended in really good for being a dark shade. Now I'm gonna go in with this small concealer brush by e.l.f. Cosmetics, and I'm gonna take my primer and make a half cut crease. Okay, so I went ahead and carved my crease with that eye primer. Now I'm gonna go in with I think I'm gonna go in with B4 right here, which is like a minty kind of teal shade. I'm gonna take that on the inner part that I carved out, like so, with a flat eyeshadow brush. Okay, so I went ahead and packed that on halfway through, and now I'm gonna go in with this part. I'm gonna go ahead and take this deeper shade right here, E3. That way it could go ahead and blend in with this navy blue that I applied. I'm gonna take the same brush. Just pack that on. Okay, we do have some fallout, so that's good. We always do our eyeshadow before our foundation to avoid getting fallout on our foundation, of course. Okay, now I'm gonna go in back with that deep blue shade. So I'm going back in with E4, and I'm just blending those two shades, that deep green and that navy blue, together so they could blend out and not look harsh where they are separating. So now I'm going to go back in with C3, which is that lavender shade right there. I'm going to take my Wet n Wild brush, dip it in there, and just try to blend out that navy blue color so it could look blended in better and not harsh and muddy or patchy. So there we have that look, and I like the way it came out. The only thing that this palette does lack is a highlight shade. It does have a matte white, but I'm not very fond of using white matte shades as my highlight. I more am lenient towards a shimmer. So that leaves me with going in on my inner corner highlight with this glitter shade A2 and see how that turns out. I'm just going to get a little bit of my finger and apply it to the corner. And it actually pressed on very easily. Like there's no glitter really left behind on my finger. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in on my brow bone with Iced Out by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So for my brow bone, I'm actually going to go in with the Norvina Cosmetics in Lotus Blossom highlight for my brow bone. Okay, we're back. So this is the full look, and I'm going to go ahead and take this shade D5 just because I want to try to test out all the colors, which is that like this primary pink. I'm going to take that underneath my lashes, lower lash line. I'm just gonna dabbing it so I could avoid fallout on my foundation. It's a really vibrant shade. It reminds me of a punch. Okay, so for my waterline, I went in with the Norvina Cosmetics Chroma Stix in Violet. Now I'm gonna go apply some falsies, some lipstick, and change out of the shirt. Okay, so here's the finished look. I went ahead and added some lashes, and then I also applied the Danessa Myricks Twin Flame in Amour. I have a liner above my piece that I carved out. And this is the finished look. So after using this palette to create this look, the only problem I did have with the palette, the downside was that it did not contain any shimmer shades like the rest of the Norvina palettes do have. I usually like to use a light shimmer for my inner corner to highlight and my brow bone, and it did not have that. So I did have to go in with a different highlighter to do that. Other than that, there was little fallout, but that's normal when you have colorful eyeshadows and you're using colorful eyeshadows, so that wasn't an issue. I do wish that there was more shimmer shades to incorporate into the palette to create more looks. But other than that, it is a really great palette. You get a lot of variety of colorful shades. It's a good colorful palette to have for the spring and summer coming up. And plus, if you don't have volume 1, then I highly recommend, because myself, I do not own volume 1, so it does remind me of the volume 1 palette. But if you like the look that I created, go ahead and subscribe.